come back to you because I'm picking up the theme, right? What the reality is different from the dream that we had. And I wondered why that is the case. Why do people arrive here and it's not what they expected?
Well, I think the Europe we see in Africa is portrayed on, by the TV, by the social media, call it Facebook, whatever.
Right.
The images we see there are disillusional. This create false conception in the youth. We are talking about youth who think that what they see on the movies they watch in their poor conditions are actually true of Europe. It's a disillusion. When they arrive here, they feel that it's not the dreamland. This is the fiasco that has become a generational stuff,
right.
And that is much of the time we are not talking about only labor drainage. We are also talking about brain drainage because
right.
we are talking about the youth. Mama, Africa is suffering because what are the sources that people are believing? The colonial stories,
right.
or what their brothers, what we are speaking now, so that people who are speaking as our brothers do not brave through the Sahara Desert or do not take the Mediterranean Sea.
Right.
That's a cemetery we are calling.
This
is the worst postmodern genocide that is killing Africa, and I call this a generational destruction.
Right.
We are not only talking about those people who lost their life here. I've seen a lot of dry bones, dry people, dry skulls, more in the Sahara Desert that I cannot see here. And
right.
anyone who are brave through never thought he is going to make it.
Yeah.
It was just on luck. Why do people have to be constrained to make this thing? Most of our brothers and sisters, what they do here is to go and take a picture in front of a Ferrari, and that's really disinformation, misinformation.
It's not true. It's
and
not
this
the reality.
is why this type of whatever you call it, irregular
right.
migration,
right.
whatever,
right.
those prejudices, I don't accept it. But this is what lead to migration begetting itself.
Right. And I want to come to you, Ishmael, because you tell us what life is like. Tell us where you sleep, what you eat. Do you drive a Ferrari? Because that's what people think that you have now that you're here.
The main perspective in the life in Europe is the same as the life they call it in the hell.
In hell?
Say, the life in Europe is life in the hell. Because in example in Europe, everything based on documents,
right.
And if you are not having documents, what are you going to do? Italian have a word called black job, which is lavoro nero.
Right.
That is what you are going to do. And you are going to work.
That? What is a black
lavoro
job?
nero means work without contract.
Okay.
You go to farm
to
go
farms.
and plug maybe oliver from 8, sometimes 7:30 up to 5 o'clock in the evening time, in this heat, and they are going to give you 25 euro.
How much is that?
25 euro without food.
You can't survive on that.
You cannot survive on that in Italy here, because if you are paying house rent, you are paying baller bill, you are paying condominium, you are paying water bill, lifestyles, plus what you are going to eat, increase of your shelter.
Elachi, I'm going to come back to you now. You opened up by telling us that you needed to have strength of mind, that it takes a lot to be able to make it here. We're closing this discussion now. What are your final thoughts? You have studied the experiences Africans are having in this country particularly. Close us up for now.
Personally, I want to speak to our politicians, and I call them sellouts, because they are not looking at the interests, the needs, the vulnerability that constrain people to migrate. Because to the Gambia or to Senegal, to African political leaders, it is convenient, even if we die in the streets, even if we die in the sea, as much as we can send remittances, it is convenient for them that we, the youths who are potential revolutionaries, leave the country and let them to dictate. So I am telling Africans who are there that I am guilty for being here. If you come here, you are running from your work. You are running from changing Africa, and the generations that will become failures as well. I contributed to it, and you are also contributing to it. So if I am speaking, and if you can hear me today, I am saying I should get back, and then we should work on what is happening, because the future is in Africa. But the real question is the future in Africa for Africans? Are we talking about Chinese colonialists, or we are talking about multinationals who have stole us the tradition traditional livelihoods that in fact we hate ourselves. Africa is still a colonial economy. So it depends on what people are running from. We cannot talk about the solution without talking about the causes of the problems.
Right.
It will be false that we will talk about, okay, people will stay there. Which we all live in one system, capitalism, that create illusions in everyone. I want to live in a house. It doesn't matter whether I live in the village or not. Who am I not to hope that I need the best for myself? We are slaved everywhere. We are discriminated. We are stigmatized. And I am not saying this is particularly Italy, but what are the other European countries who are helping Italy with the load of the migration since 2015? Why is Africa enslaved? We aren't poor. We will never be poor. The future is still there. The question is, who is this future for? Is it for Africans when we all run from the things that we should try to make up there?